this time, I'd like to go ahead and invite the candidates that are going to be sitting up here to come on up and take a seat. Thank you. So I am Keith Markley. I'm the chairman of the Adams County Republican Committee. We are doing this event in conjunction with the newspaper. Nate Camille is here. She's actually going to be our moderator. Nate's going to come up and share a couple words. But I just want to say thank you for being here, first of all. And thank you for that applause for these guys and girls. Because it isn't easy to run for office. And they're all throwing in a campaign and learning how to do a campaign in the midst of life. Some of these guys or gals are running for offices they haven't been in before. And it's a little bit nervy. And here we are, we're looking at them, they're looking at us. We may have some questions and they're wondering what we might say. It's a little bit nervous, so thank you for the applause. I kind of am excited about this because this is an important part of our process and our journey as a country. And it's still going on, and it's no less important today than it ever was. Would you all mind if we start out with a word of prayer? I'd like to do that. So let's just bow our heads. Heavenly Father, I just want to ask for your blessing on our meeting. I thank you for this time. I thank you for what's going on right here, this process of our government system, our democracy, our republic. I thank you for everyone that's running for office, and I thank you for all of us that are here participating. I pray that you would give grace that we could have a peaceful, informative time tonight. And I ask it in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Nate?
Just for everybody who doesn't know me, I'm Nate with the Record Reporter newspaper. And every time we do, there's an election of candidates, we do one of these, we generally pair up with the Republican committee and take care of it. I want to let you know also that we've asked all the candidates up here to submit a picture and a 500 word statement. And that's going to be in our April 29th issue, so you can read that in a couple weeks. And then the video, I'm recording video, and that's going to be on YouTube today or tomorrow. So you can tell your friends, you can go find it on YouTube and inform more of the community who's not here. That's it.
Thank you guys. Welcome everybody. Let's have one more round of applause for all who's went to work. So we are going to start off with County Coroner, our candidates for Coroner. And we have, everyone is getting a 2-minute opening statement, and then we're going to have a 5-minute Q&A from the candidates, which is open to the public. We have a couple of pre-written questions, and if you would like, are we going to use this mic here, or got one here too? Yeah, that'd be great. So if you have a question when we get to the Q&A section, put your hand up, and he will pass you a mic. And we will do it that way. So let's start with Wendy Mott. And let's find out. I'm going to give you mine.
I'm Mott. I'm running for coroner. Sorry, I am not a public speaker. I don't know what to talk about myself. I have gone through the mandatory training for the coroner. I'm starting to do the training to get certified. I don't really know what else to say. That's great.
And next we have Anastasia Slack.
Anastasia Slack. I'm also running for coroner. I am a forensic anthropologist. I've been serving as a forensic anthropologist for the last 7 years. And I am hoping to bring some of those skills to the position. I am also doing the training as we speak. I have served as a technician at the Ada County Coroner's Office, and I also assist in missing persons cases down there as well. And I also serve with the University of Boise, Boise State University with Dr. Cheryl Anderson to assist in other more national cases.
Okay, so we're going to open it up to questions from the audience. So if you have a question, raise up your hand high for either of these two candidates, and we will pose both questions to both candidates. Yeah, let's see what we got.
Hello, my question to you is, do either one of you live here? And if not, will you be traveling up here for each time you're needed, or?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll start. Yes, I do. I live in New Meadows. I've lived there for 13, almost 14 years, and I'm raising my daughter there with my husband. I do work at St. Luke's in McCall at Urgent Care. I may have seen a couple of you there from time to time, I don't know. But I am going to be able to wake up at 2 a.m. if I get the call, definitely.
I live here in Council. I live on Brady Street, just right over here. I work at Adams County Health Center, so I'm right next to the morgue. Yeah.
Anyone else from the audience have questions for either of these two candidates? I think we have one that was written in. Let me double check. Nope, not for you too. So last chance to ask. Yes?
I have one for both the candidates. How many times has a coroner been called out in the last 12 months in our county? I'm just curious.
How many times has the coroner been called out in the last few months? 2 months? 12 months.
Generally speaking, this count might get in 10 to 25 cases in a year. I am not sure about the actual number for the last 12 months, though.
I want to say about 21 for the last 12 months. We had 3 this month so far.
Yes.
What makes you want to be a coroner?
My passion to become a forensic anthropologist started in 4th grade with the events of 9/11. I was following several of the individuals uncovering people who were affected by that here in the States. And my interest in archaeology also is bone related, so that's kind of where my passion lies.
I want to serve my community. Since I moved here about 10 years ago, I wanted to find a way, and this is the way that I figured I could do it.
Let's take one more. We have one more from the audience. Yeah.
My question is to both of you, obviously. I was just curious if you guys have actually participated in runs here in Adams County and familiarity with the area.
You participated in violence? Runs. Okay, runs. Wasn't sure I heard that right.
I have not participated in a political run. However, I like to see that I was called to be an advocate. I feel I had a calling, and when I pray about it, that's something I consistently come back to. And I think that it's important for someone to be confronted with a familiar face when they're facing something pretty terrible.
I have been on every run with Sue for the last 1.5 years, other than 2.
Alrighty, well, I think that about sums up our candidates for coroner. Let's give them one more round of applause. Thank you. Moving on down the line, we're going to our assessor candidates. So for our county assessor, we're going to give them an opening statement, and you can go ahead and start us up.
Hey, just a time out. We had a request that when you give your statements, the rest of you two are exempt of this now, but everybody else stand up.
Stand up, yes, please stand up when you're giving your statement.
My name's Farrah Ball. I'm running for county assessor. I have lived in the area for 20 years. I've lived in Adams County for 15 of those. I work in the assessor's office now. I'm the DMV's supervisor, and I head up the property tax reduction program and the 100% disabled veterans program. It's a vital program for some of our elderly disabled veterans to be able to stay in their homes. I worked in the jail. I worked over there for 2.5 years as a detention officer overseeing state-hold inmates. I worked in management, grocery and convenience stores, and I also had the opportunity to run my own contract mail business for 4.5 years. So that gives me experience in budgeting, running a business, hiring, and been looking forward to doing this for about 2 years now. Thank you.
My name is Kayla Nichols. I moved here 42 years ago, finished school, and then married a classmate, and we've been married for 31 years. We've raised our 3 children here. They're grown and moving on in the world in 3 completely different ways. I'm proud of all of them. I have encouraged them when they have struggled with challenges and trying to step outside their comfort zone. And I decided I better take a little bit of my own medicine, and that's what I'm doing. I started my career in this job at 22 and did it for 7 years, and I loved every minute of it. I left when we had our second child. My husband and I made the decision to have me stay home and raise the kids while they were young. And during that time, I was able to go up to McCall RV Resort and be an operations manager for about 6 years, 10 years total working up there. And then the opportunity came up for this position and to come back home and come back to a job that I love. So I've been back for 7 years, and I have been considering this. I knew 4 years ago that Stacy was going to be retiring, and so I've been considering it, watching her, and learning as much as I could to be able to transition the county as best I could, and I have a lot of ideas moving forward to continue what she's done. Thank you.
We're going to start out this one with a pre-submitted question, which is, please explain to the audience what your perceived responsibilities of a county assessor would be. Farrah, you want to take us off?
The assessor oversees all the DMV responsibilities for titles and registrations. Their main job is to assess all of our properties. There's lot line adjustments, there's deed processing. There's a lot of moving parts in the assessor's office.
So yes, we are a collection agency for Idaho Transportation Department. We collect all the titles and registrations, and also Parks and Rec, we're a dealership for Parks and Rec. And so we collect all those and transfer funds to the state. But our main responsibility is to assess the property, all types of property, manufactured homes, residential, commercial, and we are tasked with being fair and equitable across the board and turning in those values. We are the beginning of the process for collecting taxes. We turn over the value to the clerk's office. The levies are set from our value and then are turned over to the treasurer to send out the tax bills. So we start the process, and it's very important that those values from the beginning are correct. We have a lot of exemptions and programs that can help people depending on the use of their land and their homes. We can help them with some tax help, but we have to just first make sure that we have done our due diligence to get the property values correct from the beginning. And I think working with the public is huge to make sure they understand the process that we use and they trust us.
Excellent. We have a question. We're going to open it up to the audience now. So let's raise hands up and let's see who's got a question for either of these two ladies. Don't be shy. Over here, yes, we have one. If you are next or thinking about it, get ready with that hand a little sooner because we're going to try to move it along a little faster.
Wendy Green from Indian Valley. How many people work in the assessor's office now, and what experience do you have managing a staff of that size?
Including the assessor, there are 7 of us. 7 of us. I am supervisor over the DMV directly, so I have 1 employee under me that well, 2. We've got another backup person yeah.
So as she said, we have 7, including the assessor. I have been the senior deputy for the last, I believe, 3 to 4 years. So I've been in charge. Our assessor has been out for lengthy periods of time for medical procedures, and I've been in charge of the office. I've helped the treasurer with her tax drive. I've gotten her reports. I've worked with the state. I've gone to the commissioners and had to report to them on certain issues. And as I said before, I was an operations manager at an RV resort for 6 years and managed anywhere from 8 to 10 people there. So that's my management experience. Thank you.
Who else from the audience has a question? Yes.
This question is for Farah. How many places have you not worked in council?
There's a few, but not many.
So I'm hoping I can spit this out how I want it to come out. When you're assessing property, do you base that on comps, which are good if you're selling, but can be bad on your taxes if your property isn't holding up to the comps in the area? So what is your baseline for actually assessing people's property?
There's a lot that goes into assessing. I mean, it has to do with the size of the house, the age of the house, do you live in town, do you live out of town, square footage. I mean, they do try to do a median value for all of the houses in the county, and it's different for every county. So they try to keep, they have to be within 80 and 110%, I believe, of the median value.
Anyone else?
Oh, that
I'm sorry. Go ahead. After you, Caleb.
So primarily we are required to use sales for property. We are a non-disclosure state, so we have to use sales that are given to us voluntarily. We also have an agreement with the multiple listing service to get information. We do not share that specific information with the public, but we use it for our sales. And the state does monitor that information, and they use that to judge our assessments. We break it out into different regions, different areas, and we are to be between 90 and 110% on those sales. And that's called the ratio study. They monitor the direct link between an assessed value and the sale price, and those are averaged. And they will step in if we do not have those in the correct range. They will step in and override and change those values. So we want to be accurate, and we want to be able to do the best we can so the state doesn't come in and try to blanket raise anything.
Do we have other questions from the audience? Yes, over on this side.
It's fine, I can yell. How much cross-training have either one of you had as far as on the assessor side and the DMV side? How much cross-training have you got?
How much cross-training have you had on the assessor versus DMV side?
Like I said, I'm the supervisor of the DMV, so I know all aspects of that job. And like I said, I have to use part of the assessor side for doing the property tax reduction, checking for homeowners, gathering all the information to submit those. I don't know everything on that side, but I can learn it, and I will learn it.
So the first time that I worked in the assessor's office back in the old courthouse, we started out, and I worked cross-training in DMV at that time. Since coming back, I have not worked in the DMV. I can answer basic questions, general questions, and help people get to the right person. I have been cross-trained in pretty much everything on the assessor side. We call it the revaluation side. I've worked with PTR, I've worked with the deed processing, I've worked with Stacy doing the reports for the state and for the clerk and the treasurer. And I've been out to pretty much every property in the county several times now. And I've handled the appeals. If someone doesn't agree with the value that's coming up here at the end of May, we go to an appeal in front of the Board of County Commissioners, sitting as the Board of Equalization. And I have handled those both in my prior time here and again this time. So I feel like I'm very familiar with everything, and I have a very good crew working with me.
You have time for another question or two? Let's see if there's any out there. No? Okay. Well, on to our closing statements. Farrah, you want to start us out? You get a 1-minute closing statement if you would like to say anything. We'll go back to you guys. Forgot about that part for a minute.
Well, I just am going to humbly ask for everybody's support and vote, and every voice counts in a little county like this, so everybody get out there and vote May 19th.
I just want to say that I've been working toward this goal for a long time. If you would have asked me 7 years ago if I would have considered this, I don't know if it would have been in the cards, but I've thought about it a lot, prayed about it, and I feel like this is what I'm being asked to do, put myself out there. I've gone door to door all over the county. I've had such great support from people, and people that believe in me, people that I work with, and I look forward to serving and earning your vote on May 19th. So please come out. Thank you.
Thank you both. Okay, we are going to move on to our race for county clerk. And we will start with Tara Horton. Tara. And give her her opening statement, so please stand. We're going to the front.
Hi, my name is Tara Horton, and I grew up in Council, Idaho. Graduated from here, moved away, went to college, did some other jobs, and moved back in 2000. And I worked several odd jobs throughout the county, at the school. I think I worked at Cenex for a while, and then I got a job with the Forest Service for summers. I did cattle grazing, a lot of stuff. And then I got a job with the Payette Lakes Medical Clinic. I worked here in town for them for quite a while. And then they asked me to go to McCall, so I moved to New Meadows for about 4 years and worked up there at Payette Lakes and McCall. And then I got the opportunity to work for the county. And It's been the biggest blessing. I enjoy every day of it. It is busy, it is challenging, and a little nervous, sorry. I love it. I learn something new every single day. And it's a great job. I've been there for 14 years. I do district court clerk, and then I also do payroll and HR for the county and help out wherever I can. We all pitch in to cross-train and cover and help any person at the counter with whatever they need and try to figure it out. I'm also the chief deputy, so if Sherry's gone, then I'm kind of the person, the go-to person for the office, and it's been a great place, and I love being able to serve this community that I love. I have, seen people that through this whole process of doing the campaigning, people that I had as teachers that I went to school with that come into the office and needed help with something. And it's just been really neat to connect with everybody, and I want to do the best I can to continue on what we've started as a team since I've been there. And that really is what we are. We're a team. We work together. We try to do everything we can to serve this community. And we want to keep that going. And so that's me.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Tara Dahl, and I'm running for county clerk. I'm very nervous too. I have been married for 28 years to the most amazing husband ever, Joe Dahl. And we moved here with our 2 kids, and now they're married and they have their own babies, and we just love this community. We've been trying to be more involved. I joined the Fair Board in 24, trying to be more involved in the community. I was the secretary previously. I've been working at the Thrifty Shop for 5 years, just trying to be involved. And when this came up, it just sounded like another way for me to be involved in the community and make an impact. So that's why I'm here.
All right, we have both pre-submitted questions, and I'm sure you have your own. So let's start with a couple from the audience, then we'll do some that were submitted in advance, and maybe go back to you guys at the end. Raise your hand up high. Yes.
So I would just like to ask both candidates, what have you done leading up to the campaign to prepare for the job as county clerk? Because as you know, there's a lot of hats in that office.
Start with Tara. Tara. Both Tara.
So I have been, ever since we knew that Sherry wanted to retire, I have been taking an active involvement and trying to work with her on projects that she's doing, and going to classes, going to the State Tax Commission workshops, so that I can get as much knowledge as possible to be able to continue service. And then also, we do the cross-training on all the different aspects of our office so that we can cover each other. I can cover their vacations, and it definitely is a lot to learn, but I enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to continuing to learn as we go.
Oh, sorry. As I've not been in that office, I've been researching what the clerk's office does. I've been looking into ways that I can train as I get there. If I find out that May 19th is in my favor, I'd like to actually get in there and learn beforehand. Also, I've been looking into the Association of Idaho Counties for training that I can get from them as well. So not just in-office training, but outside office training, just to make sure that things are running smoothly and that we're doing what the legislature has put in place for us to do as well. So.
Awesome. There was another question right over here. Yes.
I'd like to start with Ms. Dahl on this one, but do you know the different hats the deputies wear in the office, in our county office specifically?
So I'm not sure if it's specific to your office. I do know that the county clerk is the auditor, the reporter, the clerk of the commissioners, and the, there's 5, and right now my mind is gone, but, and the other one is chief, so sorry. Elections officer, my mouth is so dry. And there's another one, I'm sorry, it's totally gone. So.
Awesome, thank you.
So, I mean, I do have an advantage on that one since I am in the office, but we do the court system, just making sure that the courts run smoothly, and then they have the administrative support. We also do jury duty, which is not anybody's favorite, but we do that as well. We run the election process, so set it up. We have some really wonderful staff that they are just running and gunning for everybody right now, trying to get everything prepared for that. We do records, so we're the biggest record holder in the county, so we have deeds, records, historical documents, court records. We also do the recording of all those as well, and then we do marriage licenses, liquor licenses, catering licenses, passports, and then we're also the ones who pay the bills for the county, so we manage the budget, we support the commissioners in their meetings. We also pay all of the different departments, their bills, and then we also pay all the employees and their benefits and all of that.
Awesome, thank you guys. Okay, who has another question for these two wonderful, wonderful ladies here today?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, sorry,
Okay, let's go to one of the pre-submitted ones then. We have, please tell the audience of any city, county, or state positions that you have previously held and any promotions or advancements in those positions.
Please tell the audience.
Please tell the audience what your perceived major duties of the county clerk would be. Go ahead and start.
Okay, we already covered most of the main duties of that. Other than I am the court supervisor, and I used to be the jury commissioner, but I did pass that on to one of our other staff. But I have not held another political office. This is the first one that I've ever run for election on.
So I don't have any experience in county or city jobs. So I've had 30+ years of experience in private sector. I was a licensed real estate for over 20 years, and my husband and I have started and run 2 successful construction companies. So I've had to be good at what I do. I've had to have good service, or we didn't have clients. So I don't know. That's my experience. That question was really long, so it might be difficult.
Yeah, I think you mostly covered, like she said, you kind of covered it before, but that's excellent. We have another pre-submitted question, which is, you are running for the office of Adams County Clerk. If elected, you would be responsible for budgeting and oversight of the expenditure of the hard-earned tax dollars of the citizens of this county. Much of these dollars will help keep our community alive, come from property taxes. Do you yourself receive a property tax statement and pay property taxes accordingly? That's the question. You receive a property tax statement and pay property taxes accordingly.
So I actually do rent where I live, but I help my father with that, and we own the property together, so yes, I do pay taxes.
Yep.
I pay 5, so yeah, I do pay. Don't like it, but I pay
me. Excellent. We got another question for the audience now.
So seeing as you are the overseer or would be of the elections, are you both in support and favor of the Electoral College? And second part of my question is, when it comes to the public, what do you think that you can bring to us when we're in the midst of the hard stuff, the taxes, the this or that, whatever's lost in paperwork? How would you handle those things so that when we go in there, it's not like we feel like we're criminals and, yesterday's garbage?
I do believe the Electoral College, if we don't have that, then there's a lot of smaller states that would lose their voice in a federal election. So yeah, I do. Give me the next part of that question.
Just what do you think that you can bring to the courthouse that when we, the people, go in there and we have a struggle, that we're not, treated as though, I'll put it in a more eloquent way, that we're not a burden in your day and that we're just making your whole day a catastrophe because we're having an issue?
Well, I look at it as we wouldn't have that job if we didn't have the people in the county. So it should never be a burden for you to come in and ask for something that you need that we're supposed to offer to you. So if there is, then there would be training that needed to be redone in that point.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I don't have any problem with the Electoral College system. And I think a lot of it is listening to the people that come in. Like, what can we do? How can we help you? What is it that you truly need? And what can we do to get that to happen? Within, of course, the laws that we follow, but yeah.
Excellent. Do we have any other questions from the audience? Yes.
Okay, so I know we have electronic voting equipment as part of our elections, even in Adams. I know that the state has funded this equipment. I heard it was like $80,000. The county didn't have to buy it, the state provided for it. I'm a machine skeptic. I haven't been convinced that 2020 was the safest, cleanest election ever. I have big doubts. I want to learn more about how these machines work. I'm not a computer guy, but I would like to know how you ladies feel about machine skeptics like me coming in and banging the desk and asking questions. And are you willing to work with skeptics like me to bring satisfaction to the concerns and questions?
Absolutely. We love to hear questions, actually, and it is new to our county, so
Just keep talking.
we want everybody to feel comfortable with what's happening and going on here, and we've worked very hard to make sure that that is in place and secure and safe. The machines are not connected in any way to the internet. They are sealed, and there are multiple record-keeping things in place, and the ballots will be paper ballots. So if worst-case scenario happens, we can go through and hand count those. So there's no Bluetooth, there's nothing to be hacked. We've managed and passed all the security protocols from the Secretary of State's office. And I believe we're, doing everything possible to make sure that you are who you say you are, and that you only get one ballot, and that you and your vote count, and that it's secured and safe.
Thank you.
I have no experience with the machines. I did help count votes for the primary and election previously. So I know how that works. So yeah, I don't have any experience with the machines. I would say that if an issue arises, then we would need to look at it at that time. And if it was something that the county didn't want, then we could maybe go back without them. But again, I have no experience with the machines.
Excellent. We have time for a few more questions here. Let's have this gentleman up front.
Do you support photo ID for the election process?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's highly necessary to make sure that, for one, that you are who you are and that we have your correct address and that everything is up to date. So, yes. And also, I did want to mention, especially to everybody here, we are doing a accuracy test. It's public, anybody can come, and it's April 28th at 3 p.m. in the courthouse. If you want to see how the process works and be a part of that.
Sounds exciting. April 28th at 3 p.m. in the courthouse? Yes, an accuracy test that is open to the public. Mark your calendars. Let's see, we have time for some more questions in the back.
What are some legislative changes that you've seen come up this year, and how might that affect your ability to balance the budget in our county?
So we just recently had a couple legislative changes coming. They mostly are going to affect district court and road and bridge. But the district court is a very minimal amount, and after the state took over the public defense costs, and especially the evaluation costs that a defendant can have ordered, those were extremely expensive, and they are now taking on that financial burden. So I don't think the hit to the district court budget will be a huge expense, but the road and bridge one is something we'll definitely have to look at. I don't have to always make those decisions. The commissioners actually do a lot of that as well, but I'm going to look into where we can replace that money with the timber money coming back. That'll be a little bit easier, but yeah, it's definitely going to be a challenge for that specific amount. And those are the 967 and the 976 that the legislature just passed recently.
And I wouldn't be able to answer that question for you because I'm not in there. But it was something that I could look up for you if you really wanted me to. It sounds like Tara's got that.
Excellent. Do we have any other questions from the audience? Yes.
Taking advantage of the situation, since I have the mic already. Okay, so both you ladies are running for an office that's obviously pretty gigantic in just scope is covered. What would you say is that you feel is like the most important personal qualities that you bring to the office?
What are your most important personal qualities you bring to the office?
I would say probably my organizational skills, my determination to do things correctly, and my drive to help the community. I'm really big on customer service. Like, that's huge for me, especially in this position, because I feel like the people from the county have put you there, and so you owe them something. And so for me, I would say, obviously, getting the job done well, getting the job done right, efficiently, and then serving the community.
Yeah, I think definitely customer service, you need that. We're helping people all day long, every day. Professionalism, and then also just continuing to learn. It's something you're going to have to do constantly as the laws change and as our community grows. You need to know statute, you need to know what the legislature is doing. So just a constant continuing to learn and grow, and then obviously being very organized. You have to prioritize every day. We do prioritizing of which job's going to get done first. And so yeah, you have to be organized, you have to prioritize, and you have to be there every day grinding it out, for sure.
Thank you. We have time for one or two more questions. Yes.
Hi, I am on the school board, and HB 636 just passed this year, just got signed by Governor Little, and it is, I think it will impact you guys. Have you heard of it? It is how the school is funded and how monies are appropriated through tax revenue, property tax revenue.
I was going to say, I have not.
I have not actually looked into that one just yet.
I can find out for you though.
They're going to look it up after this, I'm sure. Okay, who's got another question? Don't be shy. It's an important position. Ask away. Nope. Okay. Well then, yes.
Has Congress approved secure rural schools for this year?
Have they approved secure rural schools for this year? Yes.
Yes. They do have that this year, and we did get paid, I believe, for part of last year. I know
We got a big payment. We got a big payment.
Yeah, so I think that, as far as I'm aware, we're getting one next year as well.
And again, I'm not in that position at the moment, so I wouldn't know that. So something to look up for you, but I don't know that off the top of my head.
Awesome. Let's move on to our closing statements. You want to stand up for those and go ahead and give us a closing statement.
Okay, I'd just like to say that I am really honored actually to, be doing this for our community. It's a big deal for me. I've never done anything like this, and I am just dedicated to work hard for the citizens here. I want them to feel like our office is open and that we are running smoothly and we are taking everything seriously, and that we will do the best for you that we can and keep our records accurate and available. And we want to make sure that our budget continues to support the growth of our community, but also stay within our means and be effective and efficient. And we just want to be able to keep our rural values and be able to grow and change and evolve and use technology, but also keep everybody, safe, your information safe, and just serve you the best that we can going forward.
I just want to thank everybody for their time coming out tonight, and I just believe I can bring a fresh perspective to this role. I believe my experience will help me just with fresh eyes. Anyways, my previous experiences have taught me to challenge my own comfort zones, and it's brought about better results in my businesses. And I think I can do that for the county too. So if you have any other questions, you can ask me later too. I'll do my best. But thank you all.
Thank you so much. We're going to take a quick 10-minute intermission, and you need to go get a drink of water, grab a cookie, grab the restroom, and then don't leave though, because we're moving on to the county commissioners after this, which you definitely want to stay for. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Let's have one more round of applause for all these wonderful ladies up here.